Hey beautiful, welcome! Today we're gonna talk about your self-concept, because your self-concept is really shifting and shaping all of your reality, no matter what you're doing and no matter what you're manifesting. This is gonna be beneficial for you. Of course, I'm gonna give you examples of like manifesting your specific person, because that's really what my whole channel is about. But the topic for today is how to change your self-concept, or how to transform your self-concept so that you can manifest your dreams. Whether that's your dream relationship with your specific person, because I know a lot of people here want to manifest their specific person or their ex back, or whether it's more money, shifting your finances, manifesting your dream job, dream career, dream business, whatever it is for you, even your dream body. Thank you so much for the emojis, but please don't distract me right now, because I'm actually gonna record this for YouTube, okay? Okay, thank you, Luis. So this is gonna be the practical solution, and I hope that we're not gonna go over 30 minutes. And feel free to just ask any questions as we go, and I'm gonna get to them. So this is going to be the practical solution for how to changing your self-concept, and I'm also going to talk a little bit about the best technique for changing your self-concept, or a few of the best ones, and why, for example, sleep tape affirmations or journaling is not enough. Because this is a question I've often seen. It's like the things that I teach, they might be a little bit different than most people have heard before in the online space, and then the question is always, why don't you recommend sleep tape affirmations? Why don't you tell me to journal? Like, what's the random journal prompt that I can do? What's the random affirmation I can repeat to myself to change my self-concept? So we're gonna talk a little bit about that today as well, why affirmations are really not so helpful in changing your self-concept, and why there's more powerful techniques than sleep tape affirmations. First of all, I just want everybody to be on the same page here. So first we need to clear up what is self-concept, because everybody is throwing it out like that word nowadays, and you've probably heard it everywhere. It's like self-concept, self-concept. It's like, what is self-concept? So let's first just define self-concept, what it means. And I would say that it's really just your self-image. So it's how you see yourself and how you feel about yourself. And it's something that you got so used to that it's kind of like your skin. You're wearing it all of the time, or it's kind of like coming with you everywhere you go, but it feels so normal, it feels so natural to you that you might not even question it, and you might not even see it. But it's really easy to see other people's self-concepts, or like other people's self-image. So when they speak to you, when they complain about a situation or a circumstance, or when they say how bad their specific person is, and he did this and he did that, and all of these kind of things, it's like you kind of notice where they are, you notice what they believe to be true, because self-concept is really about like the collection of beliefs that you hold. So it's not only the set of beliefs that you hold about yourself as like a person, you know, who you are. It's also the set of beliefs that you hold in each area of your life. So everybody has a different different self-concept, a different self-concept in all areas of your life. So you have a different set of beliefs, what you believe to be true about health, about getting your dream body, about staying fit, for example, about money and finances, how they work, how to get more money, all of those things. Also a self-concept with a set of beliefs and stories when it comes to love and relationships. So how love works for you, and relationships are hard, love means struggle, all of these kind of things. It's like everything you put after I am, that's your self-concept. That's how you see yourself. So when you think of love and relationships, for example, what's the thing that you put after I am? I am bad at love, like the people I love, they always end up leaving me. I am not chosen, I am not good enough, I am not worthy, I am not lovable. All of those things are your self-image, your self-concept. So when I say self-concept, I just want you to think of self-image, and I just want you to think of beliefs. And if anyone wonders what is a belief is basically just a story that you have heard over and over again, and that was formed from repetition and ingrained into the subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind is just a part of your brain that is responsible for creating like 95% of your reality. So most of the things that you have going on in your life, the things that you see with your eyes, the things that you experience in your reality, they really come from your self-concept, from your subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind is holding on to your self-concept, and that's really what's manifesting your reality. Okay, just so we are clear on these terms that I'm gonna be using. So we have a different self-concept in each area of our lives, and that's why, for example, you might struggle in love and relationships because you have beliefs that are not so empowering. You have beliefs that are not really serving you anymore, because the thing is that most of these beliefs that you now hold, that is manifesting your reality on autopilot, creating all of your experiences, creating all of the same shitty patterns in relationships, for example, where you struggle, right? They were formed before you were 8 years old. So they are really coming from your early childhood. So it's from everything that your parents were telling you and what you saw your parents do, everything you heard, witnessed, and experienced growing up, either from your parents, your caregivers, your peers, your school teachers, wherever you were hanging out. And so these are really the beliefs that you now hold, but yeah, you have the power to change them now so that you can transform your self-concept by changing your beliefs and then see a new reality for yourself and experience new things in all areas of your life. For example, love and relationships, so that you don't have the same patterns showing up anymore and you don't have the same emotional reactions and the same triggers. But yeah, it's like, it's not your fault that you got those beliefs and that self-concept. So it's not your fault that you're struggling right now, but it really is your responsibility to change them. And that's what I'm really here about. That's what I'm gonna teach you today, how to change them, so that you don't need to struggle anymore, so that you don't need to live with the same self-concept and the same beliefs anymore. Because yeah, maybe you lived with them already for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, but you still have like 40, 50 plus years of your life left. So let's just change it for now. First I want to dive into why even work on your self-concept. So this was something that I was talking a little bit about already. And it's really like your self-concept in the area of love and relationships, for example, it really determines all of your relationships and all of your friendships. So it really determines what you get in a relationship. It really controls your self-concept, and your beliefs controls how your specific person shows up in your reality. And so when I get the question a lot, it's like, how can I control my specific person? How can I get what I want in the relationship? How can I make them change? How can I make my specific person do this thing and say this thing to me and show me more love and give me these things? It really comes from your self-concept. It really comes from your beliefs. So just confirm, does this all make sense? Is this all landing? Do you want me to expand on something so far? And so yeah, your self-concept, it determines how you show up, because everything you do, like all of your daily actions, all of your daily behaviors, everything you do on a daily basis, it comes from your self-concept. Because you don't take any action or do any behavior in your daily life that is not in accordance and congruent with your self-concept. That's how powerful this shit is. And so it controls all of your behaviors, actions, all of your emotions, your triggers, you know, what you react to on a daily basis. It also controls whether you feel worthy of the things that you want. It controls whether you feel good enough in life, how you perceive circumstances, how you see the things that are happening around you. Like, let's say that your specific person shows up and he or she is telling something that you don't want to hear. Well, how do you see that situation? Because that situation is really just neutral, but it's really your self-concept that is the lens. Oh my God, I still don't have my glasses here. I wanted to take my glasses to like kind of like explain this thing, but it's like your self-concept is creating this lens through which you look at reality. And so when you change your self-concept and you change your beliefs, it's kind of like removing those glasses, and now you can see differently at your reality. So your self-concept, it dictates how you show up on a daily basis, like what you do, and also the quality of your relationships. Really what you get in life and in relationships. And it also controls all of your stories. So when you have self-talk, like when you tell to yourself in your mind, you're like, I'm this, like I suck at relationships, like I'm not worthy of love, or my specific person doesn't love me so much, or he doesn't like me so much, he's not so into me, like all of these things, those are the stories, and those stories are really coming from your self-concept. They're really coming from your beliefs. So even if you can't see your self-concept, this is how your self-concept is creating your reality. Let me see if I had. And so if you don't want to work on self-concept, because yeah, here's not many people in the room right now, because I wanted to test the waters today, and instead of saying that this is gonna be a live about manifesting your specific person, I chose how to change your self-concept, just to see where we are at on TikTok. Because the thing is that your self-concept determines what kind of relationship you get with your specific person, and whether you're able to not only manifest them back in, but also sustain the relationship. So hold on to that manifestation. And I feel like many people here are not interested in that. Or maybe they don't know, like maybe there's not that connection where they understand that they need to change their self-concept. They need to change how they see themselves, how they show up in life, what they believe to be true. Not only about themselves, but about love and relationships in general. Because if they don't change those things, their specific person can come back in. Yeah, you don't have to change your self-concept to manifest. Yeah, it helps. It's easier to manifest things into your life if you change your self-concept, because sometimes your beliefs, your limiting beliefs, are standing in the way of you getting what you want, because your subconscious mind is trying to protect you. So when you have a limiting belief that is like kind of like the opposite of what you're trying to call in, it's not going to happen. You're not going to manifest it just because of that limiting belief, which is kind of like your self-concept. So yeah, it helps to manifest things in, but where you really need your self-concept is to be able to hold on to that manifestation, to be able to sustain that relationship. And so if you want a committed, long-lasting, healthy relationship where you don't have the same patterns repeating themselves, where your specific person ghosts you, or there's the hot and cold behavior, they're just like ignoring you, you don't get what you want in that relationship, and you feel frustrated and resentful, and there's just a lot of craziness, a lot of drama, for example, and maybe a lot of confusion from your part, then we need to look into the self-concept, and we really need to change it. I'm glad you're doing this live. Hopefully I'll learn what to do and how to change myself. Yeah, we will get into it, Caitlin. Thank you so much for being here and for saying that. And first, I just want to share this. Here is where we were. I was talking about why you want to work on your self-concept. So what it looks like when you're not working on your self-concept. The people that are not looking into their self-concept, they're just trying to manifest their specific person by manifesting techniques, tarot card readings, affirmations, all of those surface level things, okay? When they're not working on their self-concept and looking at their beliefs, they might not see any movement. They're doing all of the things, but they don't see any movement with their manifestation for like months or years. That's one sign that you need to work on your self-concept. Another sign that you need to work on your self-concept, if you haven't, is you're manifesting the opposite. So you want to manifest your specific person and that relationship with them, but you're manifesting something completely different. Oh, thank you so much, Luis. You have to take a screenshot of that comment so that I have it for later. Yeah, or also partial manifestations where your specific person comes back in, but then there's the hot and cold behavior, or they leave again, you know, after a few weeks, they leave again, and then they come back, and then they leave again. So it's kind of like partial manifestation where it looks like you're getting what you want, but then it always leaves. That's a sign that you need to work on your self-concept. And another sign is that you're not able to sustain the manifestation. So it comes in, your specific person shows up, and you're going into the dating phase, and it looks like everything is flowing, everything is good. But then after a few months into the relationship, for example, or into the dating phase, then something might trigger you so much that you go into the old ways of being, and you start thinking that your specific person isn't so interested in you, and you get like insecure and anxious, and you're like, oh my god, like what's happening, like they're leaving me now because you didn't receive a message from them, or they didn't contact you for a few days. So you kind of like start tripping balls. That's one sign as well. We are getting into it, okay? This is a training on how to change your self-concept, and so we're just talking about the foundation right now, so that we even understand what self-concept is and why we want to change it. So I love this quote from Neville Goddard, which is, change your conception of yourself and you will automatically change the world in which you live. Because it's kind of like when you change how you see yourself, then you will naturally change the lens through which you look at reality. And now your reality can actually change. Because when we don't change ourselves, and then let's say that your specific person comes back in, and now you look at your specific person through the lens of, I am not good enough for this person, because or let's say I am not chosen, because you have a belief of not being chosen, because you have a lot of past experiences where people prove to you that you're not chosen because of your belief, because of your self-concept, right? And so your specific person comes back in, but now maybe there's inconsistent communication, maybe there's the hot and cold behavior, something is going on where you don't get exactly what you want in the relationship, and you're looking at your specific person and that relationship through the lens of, oh my god, they're not choosing me, kind of like through the lens of fear all of the time, being scared of them leaving you for another woman or another man, being scared of there being a third party, of them like cheating on you, maybe lying to you, doing something behind your back, not choosing you. Maybe you see them, this can be like an example where when you have the belief of not being chosen, yeah, some people manifest the third party situations when there's actually like suddenly they just leave you for another woman or a man. But it could also be in the relationship where they want to spend more time with their friends or with their family. And so you look at that situation through the lens of, oh my god, they're not choosing me. So this is the power of your beliefs. Okay. And so first I just want to talk about my self-concept transformation first, so that you don't even know why you should listen to me in the first place. So when I was just done with my life, I was like, this was almost 10 years ago. I was so fed up with my life. I didn't have any money. I was struggling financially. I was like, how am I supposed to like make anything work? Like, how am I supposed to live my life? Because I've always been a person that loves luxurious experiences, and you know, like love my nails and eyelashes and stuff like that, and also like traveling and stuff, but I didn't have the money. And I was working at several jobs and I still didn't have the money. So the money came in, but I just ended up spending it just as quickly. And I was also, in my relationships and friendships, I was attracting a lot of abusive relationships where I was treated like shit. I was treated like garbage, like a piece of like nothing, right? Because I didn't feel, back then I didn't understand this connection, but it really came from my self-concept. It really came from me not feeling worthy and me not feeling good enough, because that came from childhood, because my dad actually screamed at me every day how unworthy I was and how he never wanted me. But that's a different story. But so it came from the childhood, which is like most of your beliefs, they come from childhood. somebody says something, somebody reacts some way to you or does something and treats you in a specific way, and then you make that belief, that connection that, okay, you're not good enough, okay, you're not worthy, okay, you're never chosen, okay, this is how much you're worth, this is like your value, and okay, all of these things, that's your beliefs, your self-concept. And so I was treated like shit in my relationships. I was just attracting the same kind of men into my life that just like were abusive, basically. And because that's also how my dad was to me. And so it's kind of like, yeah, it's the same patterns, you know, that you create from based on what happened in your childhood. That's normally how it goes. And then the money situation was bad as well, and I was just looking at my life and I was so done. And also I was struggling with my health. I had a lot of health conditions. The doctors couldn't help me. They were just like kind of like giving me the medication and telling me good luck. And I was like, no, this can't be my life. Like, if this is my life, I don't want to live it. Like, that's where I was. And so then I got into like manifestation, and I was looking on the internet, doing my research. I was like, okay, how can I change these things? Because obviously I had to help myself because nobody was there to help me. And so I found manifestation, I found a few good resources and stuff like that. And so I completely changed my beliefs and my self-concept through the things that I'm gonna share with you soon. But I basically, like, when you look at me today, you would not know that it's the same person. Because I was super insecure, I was shy, I was really shy, I just wanted to be in the corner, I didn't want to be seen, and here I am on a fucking live, you know, so it's completely different. I didn't feel good enough, I didn't feel worthy, I didn't have any confidence, and for going from those things, and also going from like having super bad intrusive thoughts on a daily basis, so I had this like critical voice all of the time in my mind telling me that I couldn't do shit and that I wasn't good enough and I did this wrong and that wrong, and you know, always complaining, always nagging how bad I was. And I was also really, because I didn't see my worth and my value, I was seeking external approval and external validation from like men and like my friends and stuff, which I also didn't get because they were just treating me like shit, okay? So it was just a bad pattern, a bad cycle. And now to where I am today, after changing my self-concept, after changing all of these things and working through my beliefs and my triggers and all of these things, now I'm feeling mentally and emotionally free because I really don't have that critical voice anymore. And that's also why I can show up here, because there's nobody complaining in my mind. There's nobody telling me that I'm a loser or I'm a piece of shit. There's nothing like that going on in my mind. So it really feels like freedom, and it really feels like peace. And once you experience that stillness, that silence once, like you only need to experience for like maybe 10 minutes first, you don't want anything else anymore. It's like the peace of mind, it's really hard to describe it, but it's just like there's no thoughts. There's nothing telling me that I can't do something. There's nothing like, you know, even if sometimes when I'm getting outside of my comfort zone, of course I feel the fear, but it doesn't stop me. Because the fear doesn't come with, you're a loser, you can never do it. Fuck no, like I don't have that mind anymore. So it's kind of like I'm controlling my mind. I don't have those bad thoughts anymore as such. And I just, from that space, I just show up as myself. Because I don't give a fuck anymore. I kind of have this like not giving a fuck mindset. And I don't mean it in a bad way, but it's just like, I don't care if somebody judges me. Because I don't have judgment about myself. Because I'm at peace with my flaws. I'm at peace with like my, what's the word? You know, my flaws, yeah. So I don't have anything to hide. I'm not trying to hide any parts of myself anymore. And I have just accepted everything. I have accepted who I am. And so I'm not scared of being judged. And I'm also not scared of rejection, you know, in love or relationships, friendships. And so I can show up as myself. And so I can ask for what I need. And I can, you know, my emotional, mental needs, I can say like, hey, this is not okay, you know, change it or there's the door. And so I can kind of have this mindset now and show up in a different way where I'm confident, where it's kind of like, this is how I get what I want, because, well, first of all, I can set the standards, I can set the boundaries and hold on to them, because I'm not scared that if I set a standard or a boundary, and then my specific person or some friend is like, no, that's too much, you're too whatever, like, this is too much for me, like, I'm just gonna leave, or I'm just gonna end the relationship. Like, I'm not scared of that happening, because I know who I am, if that makes sense. And this comes from self-concept. I just know my worth, okay? So this is why you should listen to me, because I completely transformed my self-concept, and I'm a completely different person that I was like almost 10 years ago. So, and it doesn't have to take so long. Like, when I was working on my self-concept and changing my beliefs and stuff, I would say that it took less than 1 year. I would even say that it took less than 6 months, if I remember correctly. So it doesn't really have to take long. And often everybody is struggling with the same limiting beliefs. It's like, not being chosen, not being worthy, not being good enough. And all of those lead to low self-esteem, low confidence. And so it's kind of the same stuff. And so when you work on those, then they're gonna like bloom into all areas of your life. So you can fixate on the area of love and relationships right now, and then change your self-concept there, change your beliefs there, and just to know that that's probably also gonna help you manifest more money. And then you don't have to kind of work on the money area, it's just gonna be a natural byproduct. And it's probably also gonna help you show up in life in a different way, so that now you get your dream body, for example, at the same time, and you get more amazing friendships or whatever it is that you want. Does this make sense? Because now we're gonna get into how to actually do this shit. How to actually elevate your self-concept or upgrade your self-concept, change your beliefs, whatever you want to call it. So again, when I talk about self-concept, I really mean your set of beliefs, because it's really your beliefs that are shaping everything. Because your self-talk, your stories, they are also stemming from your beliefs. And I would say that most of your fears are kind of also beliefs. So, first of all, we need to become aware of where we are today. So we need to look at our reality, take an honest look, and just be curious. Just be like, sit down, look around, and be like, wow, this is what I created. This is what I have manifested. Because the thing is, you have manifested everything in your life so far. So the money that you have in your bank account right now, or don't have, if it's zero, and the money that you make per month, or maybe you don't have a job, that's coming from your self-concept, from your beliefs. So you have manifested that, you have created that. The same in relationships and friendships. It's like the friendships and the relationships you have right now going on, you have created those through your self-concept. The quality of your friendships, for example, and the things, the patterns going on in your relationship, in a romantic relationship, I mean, with your specific person, if there's the hot and cold behavior, if they always block you and then they come back and they tell you stupid stuff like they don't love you anymore and they don't have feelings and all of that nonsense, it's like, it's you creating it, okay? Also, the dream body that you have or don't have, you created that. So just look around and have that awareness and be like, okay, I created all of this. And then ask yourself, who is the version of me who created all of this? So what must someone living this kind of reality, experiencing these things in these areas of my life? So for example, let's talk about love and relationships. What must someone like me, experiencing these struggles, experiencing these patterns, right, in the love and relationship area, believe to be true about love and relationships in general, and believe to be true about themselves? So that's the question that I want you to ask. And also, like, what must someone feeling this way about love and relationships, or feeling this way about their specific person, feeling this way about the patterns showing up, about the hot and cold behavior, you know, what must they believe to be true? What must someone behaving this way in the area of love and relationships, showing up this way in the area of love and relationships, believe to be true about themselves and believe to be true about love and relationships in general? So really looking around, what are you unhappy with? What are you like dissatisfied with right now? Because we don't need to change everything. We're just gonna change the things that don't work for you. The things that you're unhappy with, the things that you don't want to experience anymore. So whether that can be like patterns showing up, emotional triggers, like emotional reactions, you know, something happening, there's a circumstance, a third party, for example. That's something you created, something you manifested. And if you don't want to experience third party situations anymore, then we need to ask ourselves, okay, what part of me created this? Like, what must someone believe to be true about themselves to have manifested this third party, this hot and cold behavior? Because your specific person is just a reflection of you, right? So when they're doing something, when they're behaving in a specific way, when they're treating you in a specific way, when they're showing up for you in your reality in a specific way, ask yourself this. Does this make sense? Is this landing? And just looking around at your reality in the area that you want to change. So I assume it's love and relationships here. Looking at the repeating patterns that show up, looking at your self-talk, all of the stories that you're telling yourself about that area every day, pay attention to that, because those are also coming from your self-concept. They are coming from your beliefs. And once we can catch them and we can ask ourselves, okay, what's underneath? Why am I telling myself this story? What's the belief underneath? Then when you catch that belief, then now you can change it. But we need this awareness first. And I don't want you to go into like self-blame mode. I don't want you to tell yourself that you're a bad person, or like, oh my God, like, how did I create all of this? Just like know that you have the power to change it now. But first you need to look at what you created. Because if you don't look at what you created, if you don't have that awareness, which most people don't have, but you have it because you're here. Otherwise you wouldn't be listening to this. I know that. And so first you need that awareness. And just be curious, don't blame yourself. And then also ask yourself about the circumstances and the situations that are going on. Or maybe like if you think back to your relationships with your specific person before it ended, before the breakup, think back to that time and look at the things going on and ask yourself, what was the meaning that you gave to the situations and to the circumstances that were going on? Because a person with a good self-concept, a person that knows that they're the shit, a person that knows that they're the price, they can have what they want, they see their worth, they see they're good enough, they see their value, you know. Just a person with a good self-concept would not make those same meanings about things going on. And so this is the thing, it's like you can sit with your friend, or yeah, let's just say your friend for now. You can sit with your friend in the exact same place, witnessing the exact same thing, experiencing the exact same thing, like something happening, you know, a circumstance, a situation going on. You see it both with your own eyes, but you're gonna have a different internal representation. So you both are gonna create different meanings about what that means, about what's going on. And so the meaning that you create about a situation or about a circumstance, it's really coming from your self-concept. It's really coming from your beliefs. Is this landing? So a really, really practical or like tangible example that I can give you is, again, the same shit. It's like, imagine that your specific person comes back in, or just think back to the relationship, you know, before it ended. And think back to what was going on, because most likely these same things were going on there, where you got insecure. Oh, thank you so much. You got insecure, you felt anxious, you felt like a little bit triggered because your specific person showed up in a different way. So let's say that you were in a relationship with them for 2 years, and now suddenly they changed their behavior. They started showing up in a different way. They didn't make dates with you anymore. They didn't do the date nights. They didn't move the relationship forward. They just started showing up in a different way. So that triggered something within you, and you got insecure, and you made the meaning about them showing up that way that it means something about the relationship, and it means something about you. And then you started asking yourself, okay, what did I do wrong? What do I need to change? What did I say wrong? What did I do wrong to have this specific person now not giving me love anymore, not wanting to set up dates with me, not moving the relationship forward, not giving me so much attention anymore after them coming back from work, for example. And you started blaming yourself. You went into insecurities. Your triggers showed up. That was like a whole emotional reaction. And now you made that situation mean that you're not good enough, or that you're never chosen, or that you're not worthy, or that you did something wrong, or something about you, and you made it mean something about the relationship. So you're like, oh no, they're leaving me now. Oh no, what's going on? Like, please, please, please don't leave me. Like, let's have the talk. Like, I want to understand what's going on, right? So it's like a whole thing. And now based on that emotional reaction, based on the meaning you gave it, you had an emotional reaction. Based on the emotional reaction, you take action. That rhymed. You take the action, and now you get the results, which is them leaving you. Which is them calling you that you're controlling, you're a control freak. Like, who has heard that? Like, don't be so controlling. Like, don't ask about my whereabouts. Like, let me just have fun with my friends. Let me go out to drink with my friends. Like, why are you so controlling? Why are you like that? And then they left. Again, these are just examples. So I'm here to help you. I'm not here to make you feel like shit, because I have been in the same situations. Please just somebody share if this is landing, if this is making sense. Another thing that you could when you look at your reality to find that self-concept and find your set of beliefs in love and relationships, then I kind of like said it already, but look at your emotional reactions. Look at what situations and what circumstances are really triggering you, because everybody is gonna have different triggers. So for example, I used to have a lot of triggers. I felt like everything was triggering me, but nowadays I don't have many triggers anymore. And so one trigger is just when the internet is slow, but it's like a little bit different. I feel like many have that same issue, so I don't even know. It's a trigger, but I don't have so many triggers like other things anymore, because I've been working on my self-concept. So you can really heal your triggers, because all of your emotional reactions and all of your triggers that show up, they are really your beliefs in disguise. So they're your hidden beliefs in the subconscious mind. Hello. Makes perfect sense. Yay. Totally, yes. He would say you're too toxic, so you're spot on. Okay, yes, perfect. That's like them saying you're too toxic. It's kind of the same as like, don't try to control me, right? Like, give me space, leave me alone. Like, why are you like that? So it's kind of like how I see it, it's going in the same category. Okay, so now we know what we're unhappy with. Now we know what we want to work on, what we want to change, right? And now we're going to go into how to actually change these beliefs. So there are different ways that you can change your beliefs. In my eyes, how I see it, in my perspective, in my eyes, in my perspective, Yeah, so if you wanna remove a third-party situation, then just watch this live as it goes on YouTube afterwards, and then you're gonna get the thing. I also have a podcast episode on how to remove the third party or how to get rid of the third party. So you can go and listen to that podcast episode as well. My podcast is called Manifesting Simplified. There's only 4 episodes for now because it's pretty new. But yeah, go watch, go have a listen. You can also find it on YouTube actually. So there's different ways. My perspective for changing your self-concept and changing your beliefs is like, there's different tools that you can use. There's different modalities that you can use, right? So it's kind of like, imagine yourself going to the restaurant and now you're eating, well, I don't eat meat, so I don't have a steak, but you know, like if you eat steak, you would need a sharp knife because otherwise you're not gonna be able to cut it. But I'm just gonna give my pizza example because I love pizza. So if I go to the restaurant, I have pizza, I can't cut the pizza with a dull knife. Like the normal knives that they give me, I'm like, no, I need like a proper, like, you know, like a sharp knife, like the steak knife or what is it called? Because otherwise it's not gonna cut it. Otherwise I'm gonna be like this. And of course, yeah, I'm gonna be able to cut the pizza into pieces, but I'm just gonna be frustrated because it takes too long. And I'm all about efficiency. So I wanna have a sharper knife. And so it's the same thing with changing your self-concept and changing your beliefs. There are some tools and some like modalities that you can use that are taking a little bit longer. They're taking longer to see results, to actually change your self-concept, to change your beliefs. And some take a little bit shorter time. And I'm all about those taking the least time. Because I'm all about, like I said, I'm all about time efficiency. I'm always asking myself, how can I spend less time doing something? Also, like in my day-to-day life, you know, I'm really having a lot of systems because this is how my mind works. It's like, I'm having a lot of systems and stuff, and if somebody was like to come to my kitchen and have a look, it's like I have a lot of things in place that most people don't have, or at least I haven't seen those things because it's just efficient. It just saves me time in the morning, for example. So anyways, that was a side tangent. So there's things that you can do that we're gonna now talk about. So first I want to go into the tools that are taking a little bit longer. The tools that are often spoken about in the online space, but in my mind, or like how I see it, it's like often, yeah, you can see results, you can change your beliefs through using those tools, but it's probably gonna take you months or even years to do that. And it's gonna take you months or years of being like consistent, of being like repetition, because you've heard the word, you know, repetition is key, right? So some of those tools for changing your beliefs and your self-concept is, for example, affirmations. Repeating affirmations on a daily basis. That's one of them. Or doing journaling, like kind of like when you uncover a belief that you now want to change, you're just gonna write in your journal, like, you know, this is what I used to believe, and this is how the belief shaped my reality, and these are the experiences that I manifested into my life, into my relationships, based on this belief, right? And now I'm willing to see this differently. I'm willing to change this perspective. I want to get rid of this belief, right? I want to change this belief, and from here on, you're just writing in your journal. From here on, this is my new belief. This is what I want to believe. This is how I want to see reality. This is how I want relationships and love to work for me moving forward. Those are like slow processes. And when I talk about affirmations, I could also talk about sleep tape affirmations here, because I got this question yesterday and it was a really, really good question, which was, well, obviously I didn't write down a question here now, but basically I wanted to get into why sleep tape affirmations also are not so powerful for changing your beliefs. So I'm gonna talk about why affirmations first, why affirmations don't really work on changing your self-concept and changing your beliefs so quickly. And it's because you have the subconscious mind, so that's the part of your brain that is like, you don't really have access to it on a daily basis. And so it's still creating your reality. It's creating over 95% of what you see in your reality, all of your experiences, just shaping all of your reality, right? And so when you're affirming something to yourself, let's go with the same example. You have a belief in your mind that I am not chosen because something happened in your childhood where you got that emotional reaction, that trigger, that experience, and you made the connection, you made the decision that, okay, I am not chosen. And it was formed into a belief in the subconscious mind, and now your subconscious mind is holding on to that belief, and now you're probably 30 years old, and you still have that belief of I am not chosen, or the people that love me, they always go for a different person, like I am second option, whatever, it's kind of the same stuff. And so when you now affirm to yourself on a daily basis, you say in your mind or out loud, you're like, I am chosen, my specific person always chooses me, the people I love always chooses me above all, like I am first option, whatever it is, like the affirmations that you're repeating to yourself, they are not gonna go into the subconscious because they are incongruent with the already existing beliefs in your subconscious. And so if they are different, if there's a mismatch, something is in your subconscious already now, I am not chosen. And now you're repeating to yourself, I am chosen. There's gonna be the bouncer. So it's kind of like you have this filter in your mind that is, it's kind of like rejecting or accepting your beliefs. And it's rejecting or accepting new ideas and new suggestions. So this filter, how I see it, is kind of like the bouncer in the club. You know, if you go to a bar or you go to a club and you're drunk as fuck. I have been there many times. It's like drunk as fuck. You're trying to pretend that you're sober and then you're like, hey. And then the security guard is like, nope, not tonight. You're not gonna go in. And you're just trying to convince them, because I'm this kind of person, you know, trying to get my way. So I'm trying to convince them. I'm like, let me in. I'm not so drunk. I'm gonna have water. Let me in, right? And they're like, nope, not today. Tomorrow is a new day. And that's how the subconscious mind works as well. It's like, it's not gonna let those affirmations, let those new suggestions. Yeah. I hope I'm not gonna get banned on here, you know, I don't know where the limit is, like what can I talk about and what not, but yeah, I hope it's okay. So, because I just feel like it's a good example of how the mind works as well. And so, when you have affirmations now that are not congruent with your beliefs that already exist in the subconscious, they're not gonna be accepted into the subconscious. And if your affirmations don't go into the subconscious, they're not gonna change anything in your life. Because in order to change something in your life, in order to now change your beliefs and transform your self-concept, which we want to do, because that's why you're here, right? We need to get those affirmations into the subconscious. And now I explained why they don't go into the subconscious. So that's why I'm explaining like this is a slow process. Of course, you can do the repetition, repeating the affirmation over and over again. And you have probably heard as well that your subconscious mind is gonna take in things faster if you have more emotions attached. So now you're repeating something, I am chosen, and you have a lot of positive emotions attached to it, but it's probably still not gonna go in, or then you have to do it for like months. So yeah, and it's because often what happens when you do this, and this is a lot of clients that come to me, they have had this issue when they've just been repeating affirmations to themselves, wondering why nothing changes, and wondering why they feel more tensed up in their body, why they feel more stressed, they feel more overwhelmed. Because in the beginning it might feel really good for like a few days or a few weeks when they're repeating those affirmations. It feels good. It feels like good in the body, like a relief, like something is working. But then comes the kind of like the backlash where the opposite happens, where suddenly your body gets really tensed up, and it's just your subconscious mind. It's your subconscious mind trying to protect the beliefs that already exist, because it tries to, it's a little bit like off topic right now, but how the subconscious mind works, it's trying to maintain homeostasis. It's trying to maintain the things that were once formed into the subconscious mind and hold on to them. Your subconscious mind doesn't want change. And that's why change is hard. It holds on to your comfort zone, it holds on to your self-concept, it holds on to your beliefs that were formed. Most of it was formed in your childhood, and it doesn't want to change it because it knows that changing it means that it needs to utilize and use more energy. And your subconscious mind is a little bit like me. It's trying to maintain energy, sustain the energy. It's trying to like be efficient, and it doesn't want to use so much of the energy to changing beliefs and changing your self-concept, changing the things inside the subconscious, right? Because what it wants to use energy on is like your bodily functions. So breathing, you don't have to think like, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in. You don't have to think about that because your subconscious mind is doing that. And you don't have to think about like, okay, heart, beat, you know? No, your subconscious mind is doing that. And so and also digesting food. Imagine eating something and then right after you would be like, okay, now I need to focus so the food is digesting. Thank God we don't have to do those things. And it's because of the subconscious. But these are like the more important tasks that the subconscious mind is wanting to do and wanting to spend its energy on. And that's why it doesn't want to spend the energy on you affirming things and it changing the beliefs. Does this make sense? So that was the slow process for changing your self-concept. And why sleep tape affirmations, why I don't really recommend them either, is because so the thing is, when I always get the question like, what's the difference between hypnosis and sleep tape affirmations, for example? And the difference is that when you're asleep, you're just in different brainwave states and your conscious mind is kind of like turned off, right? It's like switched off. And so the way that your subconscious mind is impressed, the way that you change things in the subconscious is through visuals. So your subconscious mind, it doesn't understand language. It doesn't understand words. It doesn't speak English. It doesn't speak any language, whatever your mother tongue is. So your subconscious mind doesn't understand words. It only understands, like the language of your subconscious mind is visuals, images, pictures, it's metaphors, symbols. So it's just like, yeah, images. And that's why visualization, for example, is so powerful, because when you're visualizing, you're seeing images in your mind. And that's why hypnosis is so powerful, because not only are you accessing deeper brainwave states when you're in hypnosis, when there's a guided hypnosis, right? And so you're accessing deeper brainwave states that actually open the subconscious mind in that moment and are able to create that change that is long lasting and really fast as well. But it's like, yeah, it accesses those brainwave states and it gets you into the subconscious immediately. And when it gets into the subconscious immediately, that means that the bouncer has gone to sleep. The bouncer that we were talking about is kind of like going into a bar and there's no security guard, which is like the perfect thing, right? Because then it doesn't matter how much you've been drinking because you're still gonna get in. So when you access those deeper brainwave states, it's the same thing. You're gonna get in. Everything is gonna get in no matter what. Yeah, looking forward to our session as well. So with the sleep tape affirmations, when you're asleep, it's another brainwave state than hypnosis, for example. But it's also, the thing is that when you're asleep, you don't have the conscious mind that can visualize. So you don't have the conscious mind that can see images, because how hypnosis works as well is like somebody is guiding you, somebody is telling you things, right? It's a guided hypnosis, somebody tells you things. And so it's not the things that they tell you that go into the subconscious. It's what you imagine in that moment. Because in order to hear something or understand something, you're creating images in your mind all of the time. So for example, if I tell you like, don't think of a pink elephant, you have to think of a pink elephant, not to think of a pink elephant. So also in hypnosis, if I say something like a suggestion or something, you have to think of that thing to understand it, to like kind of like conceptualize it, if that makes sense. And that's the thing, when you have that image, that's the thing that is impressed onto the subconscious. It's not the words. And that's why the sleep tape affirmations don't really work. They're not so effective because, or then you have to listen to them for like a longer period of time. And I also have had clients that come to me and they say that they've listened to the sleep tape affirmations and everything seems to be shifting. But then once they stop listening to the sleep tape affirmations, everything goes back into the old ways. And my theory, my like logical explanation on this is really that, yeah, the sleep tape affirmations can kind of like, your subconscious mind might pick up something that is said in the sleep tape affirmations. And so that's what is gonna like filter out your reality as you awake, you know, as you go through your day. It's gonna like see those things now. It's gonna show those things in your reality. And so you feel like it's working. But then when you stop, because your beliefs were not changed fully, it was just like maybe they were shifting a little bit, but they were not fully formed. They were not fully changed. And so when you stop listening to the sleep tape affirmations, you feel like you're going backwards. You feel like you start spiraling again. You start going into the old ways of being. So this is kind of like my explanation on this. I've never heard anyone else explain it, but this is like how I was thinking that it must be how it works. Yes, that happens to me with affirmations and subliminals. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I hope that that makes sense, that your subconscious mind speaks in visuals and images and not in language, not in words. And so, yeah, so I'm gonna tell you about the most effective processes now for changing your beliefs and your self-concept. So visualization can be really powerful especially for like imagining your new self, right? Because that's your new self-concept, your new self, your new identity. So visualization can be really powerful. That's something that you can do on your own. Other ways to really like change those beliefs, when you have, oh, thank you so much, Kiro. When you have pinpointed those specific beliefs, if you want to change those or get rid of those beliefs, then there are some modalities like neuro-linguistic programming, like NLP. It's really, really powerful. It's just like a modality that they have been studying for like how the brain works. And so it's kind of like a guided process. And this is a guided process that I have and I use a lot with my clients. And I also have audios on this inside the Manifestation Club, which is the monthly membership. So if you really want the like quick fix for changing those beliefs, I would really highly suggest that you join the Manifestation Club, because there's like, I'm certified in these modalities. So that's why I have them there. And there's like the neuro-linguistic programming, because I feel like that's something that you can't really do if you don't know what you're doing. For example, before I got certified, I would not have been able to do it myself, like on my own. So that's one thing, neuro-linguistic programming, you can look it up, it's called NLP. Then EFT tapping is also something you can do on your own. You can look up on YouTube, there's a lot of videos on EFT tapping. For example, Brad Yates, he's a man and he has a lot, like I think he has probably, I don't even know how many videos, hundreds of tapping videos, because he's been doing it for a long time, I think 10 plus years on YouTube. So there's like guided tapping sessions for like anxiety and stuff, and they can really work on changing the beliefs as well. But again, these are like more, so EFT tapping is more like a slower process, I would say, than, for example, the NLP. And also the fastest way that I would say is, yeah, it's NLP or hypnosis. Hypnosis is just so powerful, and now you know how it works, like why it's more powerful than affirmations or sleep tapes, because we just discussed it. Yeah, hypnosis is the best. And that's also like, hypnosis was the thing that transformed my life, transformed my self-concept, my beliefs. Nothing else was working for me. I was doing so much and I was trying for so long, and it was really frustrating and annoying because all of the information that I saw in the online space, none of that was working. Yeah, EFT good but slow. Yeah, and some people feel the shift. Like, I have the same experience about EFT as you. For changing beliefs, I don't feel like EFT is so powerful for me either. But some people really feel the shift immediately. But I feel like EFT can be really good for stepping into the new version of yourself, or embodying a new identity, or even just for like, you know, feeling better in the moment. Like if you have anxiety or something like that, EFT can be really good. I can't seem to visualize on hypnosis, it's annoying. So I would say the more you just get into your body and relax, you're gonna be able to do it. But it's a practice as well, but visualization is really like, it's your like superpower once you learn it. But also we often feel like we're not good at visualizing, but everybody can visualize, because otherwise you can't describe what happened yesterday if you can't visualize. Because in order to describe something, in order to explain something, you are creating images in your mind all of the time, even if you don't realize it. So those were like the tools that you can do. There are different tools, slower and faster tools for changing your self-concept, for changing your beliefs. And then I'm also gonna give you another practice that you can do right now, that I call like kind of like a belief change process, or like this is the conscious way of changing your beliefs. But like I said, the most effective tools for changing your self-concept and changing your beliefs, they really come from like tools that work on the subconscious mind. So that we're accessing the subconscious and creating change there rather than just the conscious mind. Because the conscious mind, your logical mind, your thinking brain, it's only responsible for creating 5% of your reality anyways. So it's not a lot. So when you can instead access the subconscious and make changes there, you're now using over 95%. Rather than just 5%. So that's also why it's just more like faster. It's more quick, okay? But if you want to right now, you could even write these down. This is like the conscious belief change process. I'm just gonna walk you through the steps, and then you can do it just on your own. So step 1 is really to identify the belief. So once you look at your reality, once you understand and see what you're not happy with, what you want to change, now just know that belief, like identify the belief underneath, the belief that created that experience, for example, the belief that created that emotional reaction, that trigger. Oh yes, thank you so much for saying that. Paulina had a great fear hypnosis in self-concept program, deal with those thoughts there, then do hypnosis. Yes. Yeah, there are so many different hypnosis audios for self-concept inside the self-concept program. So what he's talking about is the 3-week self-concept transformation program. Right now, I don't have it in my links. I only have it on my website. When you go to my website and then you go to courses, there you can find them. But it's all about like changing your self-concept, transforming your self-concept in the area of love and relationships. And it's all about hypnosis. And I also have the NLP method there for like stepping into the new version of yourself. And it's been really, really popular. Like everybody who has taken that program has loved it a lot. And I have even got like people recommending that program to their friends, and friends signing up and telling me that they heard it from somebody else. So yeah, it's amazing. People are raving about it. So let's go into the belief change process now. Number 1 was identifying the belief. Now you know what the belief you have that you want to change. So let's say it's like, I am not chosen, okay? Let's go with the same example. Then step 2 is you're gonna put the detective glasses on and you're gonna start investigating that belief. So you're gonna start questioning that belief, questioning whether it's actually the truth, whether it's actually 100% truth, and it's like the truth for everybody, you know, everybody has that belief, which it never is, right? So how I want to explain it, it's kind of like, thank you so much for tapping the screen. It's kind of like, imagine having a table with legs, and the tabletop is your belief. This is the belief that you want to change. And the reason for why this belief is so strong, is so like powerful, has such power over your reality to create and shape and shift your reality, right? And your experiences, is because this belief has a lot of reasons for why you believe this belief to be true. So this is the tabletop with the belief, and now there's a lot of legs with all of the reasons for why this belief is true. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna start knocking down the legs by questioning the belief, so that after a while you're gonna have all of the legs knocked down, and the tabletop, which is the belief, it's not gonna be able to stand on its own. So it's gonna fall. And this is when it's kind of like loosening up in the subconscious mind. This is when the subconscious is gonna like let go of it, right? So let's question the belief of I am not chosen. Then ask yourself questions like, is this the ultimate truth? Is this, can I say with 100% certainty that everybody in the whole world has this belief? And what would I tell a friend that has this belief? If the friend had the belief, I am not chosen, and if she came to you, or let's say it's your child, somebody you care for, they came to you, they had the belief, I am not chosen, what would you tell them? Would you tell them, yeah, you know, I also believe that. I also believe that I am not chosen, you know. This is just something you need to deal with, like, you know, just get over that, like, everybody has this belief. No. You're gonna be like, what do you mean? You are so worthy. Of course you're chosen. I choose you, like, you know. Yeah, so it's kind of like, this is how you knock down those legs and the reasons for why you believe that belief to be true. And then once you have knocked down those legs, the tabletop is gonna fall. And what tends to happen is that there's gonna be an emotional reaction, because every belief, it's just powerful. It's just strong in our subconscious mind because of emotions, because of some negative emotions, right? And so there's probably gonna be, where do I have it? There's probably gonna be some emotions like anger, frustration, sadness. Something is gonna come up as the tabletop falls. And now your job is really to neutralize those emotions, so that can like loosen the grip in the subconscious mind of that belief, and so that the subconscious mind is gonna let go of that belief, if that makes sense. And so the way that you can neutralize emotions, because this is something I often talk about, like neutralize that shit, neutralize the circumstances, neutralize the situation, the emotions, right? And so the way that you do it is just through different modalities that work for you. My favorite way for neutralizing emotions is, or two favorite ways, is like, or three. Okay, my three favorite ways, because I can't pick one, for neutralizing emotions is really like breath work is one. And another thing that I really love is screaming in the pillow, just like screaming it all out. And the third one is going for a run, just like getting it all out, like moving the energy. Oh, thank you so much, Luis. I'm gonna see you later, and I'm gonna see you another day. Have a great evening. Oh, I appreciate you as well. Thank you so much for being here. So you're gonna neutralize it, neutralize the emotions. You can also neutralize them by, for example, journaling, if that works for you. But what I love doing is using my body more. Really like, you know, going for the run or screaming. And like, as I scream in the pillow, it's really like contracting the muscles in the belly, using my body, right? Then step 4 of the belief change process, which is kind of like the last step. Oh, no, Louise, thank you so much. I truly appreciate all of the gifts. So thank you so much for sending them and for not distracting me too much throughout. So it was good that you sent them in the beginning, you know. And you're definitely gonna have more time to send me more gifts later on, so don't worry. Okay. Step 4 is creating a new belief. Once you have neutralized it, once you have knocked down the legs so that there's only the tabletop, yeah, now you're gonna create a new belief. So now you're just gonna ask yourself, what's a new belief that I now want to believe? It can be the opposite of the belief that you knocked down, or it can be something else that is just like making you feel better, serving you more in life, helping you get where you wanna go, something more. And you don't have to believe that belief to be true in the beginning, but this is also why we have the powerful tools like hypnosis, NLP, to make the subconscious mind take in that new belief faster. And then after a while, when you have that new belief, you're gonna start looking for evidence to support that belief, to support that, like, to kind of like prove to yourself that this is actually the truth now. So now you're gonna create a new tabletop with new legs, and it's gonna be all of the reasons for why this belief is actually the truth. And in the beginning, you might not have so many. And so, if you love this, if this made sense, please share, please let me know. I'm definitely gonna upload this on YouTube as well, so fingers crossed that technology is in my favor today. It works perfectly, because me and technology, we have never really been friends. That's the thing. We've never really like been a good match. And so my invitation for you is I have this 3-month new coaching program coming up that we're gonna begin in a few weeks. And if you sign up today, you can already start with the prep work, okay? So you can already get started today. Not only are you gonna receive an email today with the prep work, but you're also gonna be able to get into the manifestation club for free already now and do all of those practices to like rewrite your beliefs, for example, that we were talking about today, because there's like NLP processes and all of these kind of processes. Oh, thank you so much, Kiru. Yeah, this is gonna be, I was thinking that I would have put this into like smaller bits and pieces, but this is just how I do things. It's like I go deep and then it's like long. Because I want to talk about everything. I can't break it into pieces, okay? Anyways, this 3-month group coaching program that you can already now, when you sign up today, you get the prep work, so you can begin already today. And then you also get into the manifestation club for free, the monthly membership that I was talking about with these audios for reprogramming the mind and changing your self-concept, changing your beliefs on a subconscious level so that they are actually efficient and work fast. It's called Your Next Level, and it's really the program for completely changing yourself so that you become the most unstoppable version of you, the one that you came here to be, and you start showing up in and feeling confident. Because this is really what you need when it comes to manifesting your dream life and manifesting your dream relationship. So this theme for this whole 3-month program is gonna be manifesting your dream relationship with your specific person. So we're definitely gonna talk about manifesting your specific person, whether like you don't have them in your life right now and there's no contact, or you already have them in your life, but you just don't have that consistent communication, for example. So we're gonna get you to getting that consistent communication and getting your specific person to show up for you exactly how you want them to. And if you have watched my Instagram stories, or if you haven't already, I think it's still for a few hours. There's 2 testimonials from 2 of my private clients that recently they joined my private coaching, and they recently got their specific person to completely change and transform. But it didn't happen by them having the talk. It didn't happen by them telling their specific person what to do and how to show up. It really happened from this inner work that I'm all about and that we're gonna go through in this 3-month program as well. Because I really believe that, yeah, you can transform a lot already in 1 month, and you can see your specific person come back in 1 month, and you know all of those things. But who are you and how are you showing up in those moments when it looks like your specific person is doing something that you don't want? So it looks like things are getting worse, or you don't get exactly what you want, so you don't get the consistent communication in the relationship, and then you start freaking out, for example. You start controlling more, you start pushing the relationship forward. So we're gonna discuss all of these things so that you know how to get exactly what you want in that relationship. And we're gonna talk about like the feminine and masculine energies and stuff like that as well that really play into this. So it's all about transforming your self-concept in love and relationships, manifesting your specific person back. And it's all about like, I'm gonna help you and guide you through this like transition period to actually getting that full-blown relationship and that dream relationship that you actually want. Yeah, you're going to be the future success story. Yeah, definitely. Definitely, Itzel is inside the 3-month program, and I'm super excited that you're there and you have already signed up, and I'm super excited to help everybody get what they want. But this is also going to be a program where we're going to have some trainings on manifesting money as well, because how I see it is like manifesting love and relationships and manifesting money, it's the perfect match. It's like the perfect combination. And once you nail one of them, then you will nail the other one as well. And this is something that I've been doing with my private clients for years now, where they often come to me to manifest their specific person and manifest that relationship. And then when they notice like, wow, like this shit works, and they notice that they actually get things that they want from their specific person, then we start playing around with money. And then they have like the same clients, they have like manifested a lot of money, or like more clients in their business, or just like pay raises, and just a lot of crazy stuff that has happened really, really quickly. And it often happens quickly after you change your self-concept in love and relationships, because it's kind of like, as I said, it goes hand in hand. So how I see it, it's like the perfect combination. So we're gonna have fun manifesting money as well inside this 3-month program. And of course, you don't have to sign up today, you can sign up later, but the price is gonna go up. And if you know me and you have been in my world, you know that when the price goes up, it doesn't come down. This is also the 3-month group coaching program that is gonna be my new manifestation program, because I'm moving away from private coaching. And so the only way, if you want my personal guidance and my support, so the only way to do it is inside this 3-month program, okay? And so you're not only gonna get my support and my personalized guidance on your manifestation journey, but you're also gonna get all of these other beautiful women's support and guidance. So let me see the comments. So from this program, you're gonna not only look and feel your best, but you're also gonna have everything shift in your reality, because we do the inner work. We shift yourself internally, and then the outside is gonna reflect that. And yeah, so you're gonna look and feel the best, and it's gonna feel amazing when your specific person comes back in and reaches out, because you're gonna be confident, because you're gonna feel unstoppable. You're gonna feel like on fire. You're gonna feel like brave enough to stand up for yourself, brave enough not to go into people-pleasing tendencies anymore, not to like, what's the word, like tiptoe around and be like settling for less. No, we're not doing that anymore. We're not settling for breadcrumbs, and we're not settling for shit that we don't even want, because we're scared that our specific person is gonna reject us. And that's really like the illusion, where we think that if we don't accept something, if we don't accept a specific behavior or specific treatment from our specific person, then they're gonna leave us, they're gonna reject, they're gonna abandon. And that's really an illusion, because the thing is that he is gonna respect you more. He's gonna respect you much more when you have standards and when you have boundaries, and when you create that kind of like that box for how to show up in your reality. That's also gonna be like, feel like a challenge for him, and feel like, and then we're gonna like work on like inspiring him to actually show up in the way that you want him to. And so when you do that, when you're able to inspire him, when you're able to communicate to him, and I'm gonna teach you how to talk to him and stuff like that to get what you want, and this is not manipulation, okay? Then when he sees that you have stronger standards and boundaries right now, and you have kind of like that box, I don't know how to call it, you have a box, okay, of your standards and your boundaries, now he's gonna respect you much more. And he's gonna feel inspired and motivated to actually show up for you in the way that you want him to. And he's gonna feel inspired to move the relationship forward. And this is something that many people miss. And this is something that you can't get through manifesting techniques, for example. So yeah, this is like about the feminine and masculine energies and stuff. If you want to read more about the program, it's called Your Next Level. You can check the links in my bio, and you can check my website. There's the page for it. And if you have any other questions about the program, you can just reach out on Instagram. That's the best way, or by email. I changed my self-concept so much with you that my SP is begging for me back, and I don't even want it. Oh my God, Ray, I love that. Would you be, because this is my first time hearing this, so would you love to send me like your story, you know, so that I can share it with everybody? I can share it with my community and on Instagram and maybe on TikTok as well. That would be amazing. If you could just like, you know, you have me on Instagram, so if you could just share it on Instagram, that would be amazing.